Hello, hello. Alright, let's do a quick video about my day. I think the last video I uploaded was about the cows getting unloaded at the dairy farm. So,
Father in 1949.
went from there to my next pickup, which is like 3 hours away in Fort Worth. The place I picked up from was a little sketchy. I've been to worse places, but the address didn't have a unit number or anything on it. Good Lord, man. Louisiana has state troopers just lined up down I-20. I keep getting warnings and alerts from Google GPS about speed traps. There's a trooper at like every on-ramp and in the middle of the road. They're all over the place. So it just had a building number, like it had a normal street address, but it was a building that had like 10 to 20 businesses in it. And I had to walk around for about 20 minutes before I found the place. And then their dock was not designed for trucks of this size. I managed to maneuver around and get into the dock without having to pull out onto the road. But the guy that came in 10 minutes after I docked, he had to use the road. The only reason I didn't have to use the road was because there were no other trucks there when I got there. So I had like all the space. It was tight. But I got there at 1:30 with a 3 o'clock appointment, and they got me loaded early. It was only 12 pallets. It's only like, they didn't even know what the weight was. He was guessing it was probably a maximum of 13,000 pounds. So that's what I put on it, but it's probably a lot less than that. He said the maximum the pallets weigh is about 1,000 pounds, but he said there are several pallets that don't weigh anywhere close to that. So I probably got like 8,000 to 10,000 pounds in the trailer, really light load. And it's when I was doing my trip planning, I found out it's going to a prison. So that's pretty nice. That's cool. I couldn't find a dock from the satellite view on the prison, so on my 10 hours off here shortly, I'm going to take another look at the satellite view and see if I can find where in the hell I'm supposed to go when I get there. If not, then first building that I find or the first person I see, I'll just stop, throw them on four ways, and flag them down and be like, where in the hell am I going? My next trip after this, I've been getting pre-plans. That's pretty nice. I just made a video talking about how it was ridiculous that we don't get pre-plans at USA Truck, and then all of a sudden we started getting pre-plans. I did, at least. It may be my new driver manager. I recently switched driver managers, and I've been getting pre-plans over here. It's pretty good. So my next load is going, I think it's about 100 miles empty. Another damn trooper. I'm taking it to our West Memphis terminal. So I messaged my driver manager to ask if I was going there for PM. He said, yep, going there for preventative maintenance. And I asked him if I could be late. He said, yep. The reason I'm going to be late is because I'm running against my recap, and I don't have the hours to make it there. This is the reason I hate running against recaps, and the reason I want to do 34s every week. Well, it's one of a couple of reasons. I want to be home every week for 34. Just running on recaps is very inefficient use of your hours of service. So what else? I talked to Christina. She doesn't have access to a load board. There were two things I wanted to ask her about. One was, could she talk to me and like look at a couple of places for me on the load board and give me some rates so I can have an idea of what the load board's like? And she can't because she doesn't even have access to it. The only people who have access to it are lease drivers that are paid on percentage, and the only a couple of them, and they are only in, I don't know how many of them there are, but they're only located in Van Buren at the corporate office, Van Buren, Arkansas. And Van Buren shut down its truck terminal, so like I can't really go over there and hang out at Van Buren. There's no truck parking in Van Buren near the. I would have to get like an Uber or something. The other thing, she did tell me the rates are low, and a lot of the drivers that were working on percentage have moved over to flat rate pay while the rates are low, which means that they can't pull loads off load board. They're being dispatched like a company driver, and they're making really crap money, like $1 a mile. That's what their flat rate pay is. Their flat rate pay is pretty much what most of the other really crappy lease companies pay. It's really bad. It's terrible. Like you make I think it's $1.09 a mile loaded and 94 cents empty, and then you get fuel surcharge on top of that. So if you have $1, like an operating cost of $1 a mile is kind of low. Like that's not a very high operating cost. I mean, there are lower operating costs, people that have their trucks paid off and stuff like that, but $1 a mile operating cost is not that bad. And if they're only paying you $1 a mile, then the only profit you're making is on the fuel surcharge, which is probably going to be like 20 cents a mile. It's just like, I don't know why anybody would do that. I would have to dig deeper into the details on it to see if there's something I'm missing. But last time I looked at it, it was just laughable. It was so ridiculous. The other thing I asked her about was buying the truck. I was like, do people normally wait until they sign up with the lease program to buy a truck? Or do they buy them, like, can I buy a truck now? She said, well, you can, but I wouldn't recommend it. And yeah, people don't normally buy trucks until they've already signed up with a lease, because, you know, you don't want to be paying for a truck that you can't use. But the problem with that is it puts me in this bind where I have to get a truck in a short amount of time. Like if I wait until I'm signed up for lease, that means that in order for me to move over to lease, I have to terminate my employment with USA Truck, the normal company driver side, and then I'm rehired, or I sign a contract with the lease side. Come on, four-wheelers. They drive so fucking fast to get up alongside of me, and then they slow the hell down. Yellow is governed at like, I don't know what, but they're slow as shit. And I'm stuck behind a yellow truck with all these four-wheelers that were going 80 miles an hour to get here, and now they're all going like 65. Anyway, so she basically said wait till I lease, but you know, it puts me in a bind where I'm on a time crunch to get a truck, because I'm no longer getting a paycheck because I've basically quit USA Truck, and I can't make any money with USA Truck lease until I have a truck. I could have passed this yellow truck while we were going up the hill and already been by him in like 5 seconds because he was going so slow up the hill, because these damn cars boxed me in behind him. Now I'm having to slow pass his ass. But he's going slow as shit. Like, I don't know what he's going, 62 maybe 63. So I'm still getting by him at a decent rate, but it's not flying by him like I would have been going up that hill. So those are the things we talked about. My 34, you know, without being able to do the 34, it's really like screwing me up on this week. Now assholes want to go 80 miles an hour again now that I'm out in the left-hand lane passing this guy. They want to drive real aggressive and get pissed off at me for being in the left-hand lane. Fucking hate people. So the 34 situation, since I didn't get to do a 34, Kimberly Clark messed up last week for me, and now Kimberly Clark is messing up this week for me because I'm recapping almost no hours Monday and Tuesday because I was sitting around doing a whole lot of nothing Monday and Tuesday last week because of Kimberly Clark. So yeah, I'm really salty about that. Tomorrow, I'm only going to have a total of 6 hours. Today, I'm going to be able to put in basically a full 11 driving, running against my driving hours, not my 14-hour clock today, which is awesome. It's very rare for me to be running against my drive time and not my 14. Now, I say that, but there is an 18-minute difference between the two, so it's not a big gap, but I'll take anything I can get. You know, I'm going to be able to do my full drive time today, and keep 18 minutes. Well, no, not 18 minutes. 34 minus 6, 28 minutes. I have 28 minutes. Well, I have an hour and 34 on my 70 right now, and I have an hour and 6 of my drive time left. So there's, 28 minutes that I'll have left over after I end my day today, if I drive it all the way to the last second. And I regain right at 6 hours. So I'm barely going to have enough hours. Like, I'll have enough hours to finish this trip, which I'm going to come up about an hour and a half short on this trip. So I'll only have about an hour and a half to make my delivery after my 10. Then I have to go pick up another load and drive it to the West Memphis terminal. So the amount of hours that I'm going to have left tomorrow is I'm going to be able to pick up the load, and I think I'm going to be able to start heading to West Memphis. And then I'm going to have to set for the rest of the day and wait until midnight when I get some hours back, and I'll finish the drive to West Memphis, and then I'll be in West Memphis Wednesday for a preventative maintenance. And I don't know how that's going to work. I don't know if they have a lounge area or somewhere I can sleep there, but if I'm going to have to, like, usually the people I see with their trucks in the shop, they're sitting out on a bench outside the shop. So if I'm going to have to sit out on a bench all day long, then I'm not sure how much driving I'm going to be able to do at the end of that, like whenever my truck gets out of the shop. And I don't know how long the PM is going to take. I don't think it should, like, I don't know if it's an all-day thing. Basically, a preventative maintenance is just an oil change and greasing and stuff. It should only take like 30 minutes, an hour or something. But the shop seems like it's really slow in Memphis. There may be more to the preventative maintenance. I don't think I've ever done a PM in the entire time I've been trucking. I don't think I've ever had a truck in for a PM. I don't remember ever doing it, which is sad because I think you're supposed to do a PM every 20,000 miles. And when I was with Swift, like, I was on the I was in training for like 2 months, and then I was a solo driver for like 4 months, and I don't remember my truck while I was in training or when I was solo going in for a PM. And I don't remember going in for a PM the second time I was over the road. Now when I was line haul, maybe they, like, I switch trucks every damn day. So I'm sure that they were taking, to have PMs done. But, yeah. I don't recall ever being in the shop for a PM. Maybe 20,000 mile preventative maintenance is a new thing these days. I don't know if it was that often back last time I was driving. I think it was like every 100,000 miles or something crazy like that. I don't know. I'm not a mechanic. I'm not familiar with the changes over time on preventative maintenance scheduling. But that's pretty much it. I'm going to have a ton of free time tomorrow, and I might possibly have a ton of free time the next day. This week is going to be crap, which sucks because I was getting loads that were awesome. Like, they've been giving me really good, like, keep me running loads. Like, they've been picking out some good loads for me and keep me running really good. I like it. And now it's going to get interrupted with this preventative maintenance and this recap that I'm having to run on. So that sucks. This week's going to suck. Even with the 1,000-mile rollover from last week, I might not get 3,000 miles this week because I'm going to have like a day and a half off, maybe 2 days off in the middle of the week for the PM and for the running out of hours on the recap. So yeah, it sucks. Let me think. So I had 1,000 miles I just turned in. This load is, I think, 700 miles. So that's 17. And then my next load is about 400 miles. I mean, 2,100 miles. 1,100 miles on this week, and then a 1,000-mile rollover. So I'll be at about 2,100 miles by the time I get there for my preventative maintenance. But it's this should be a 4,000-mile week for me. If I barely just crack 3,000, I'm going to be upset. But I have this stupid PM out of the way. And I won't have to worry about them routing me back to West Memphis again. I'll be able to get rolling again. But anyway, I have an hour left of driving, so I'm going to start looking for somewhere to pull over and hang out for 10 hours. And I'm really looking forward to eating some of that dirty rice I made. I think this is the best batch I've probably ever made. I'm getting like really close to, like, my first step to perfecting the recipe is to get to the point where I have the basic formula for like creating it. And I finally think that I have the basic formula. Once I'm able to reproduce it 2 or 3 times, then I will be satisfied that I have the basic like steps down to be able to make it. Then I can start adjusting minor things like ingredients and the type of ingredients or the quantity of ingredients and stuff like that to perfect it. And I think I finally crossed that major threshold of having the process, the steps down, and the basic formula of making it. Then I can start manipulating it, minor adjustments to perfect it. But I took a few bites of it. I was stuffed, but I still took like several bites of it because it was so good. But I was so full, like I couldn't eat a bowl of it. I was so full by the time it was finished. I'd eaten a pork chop, huge pork chop, really thick, like 3/4 inch thick pork chops. Well, they were shoulder blade steaks, close enough, pork chop. But that's it for me. We'll be taking a 10 here shortly. I'm hoping I'm going to be able to go to sleep pretty quick. I didn't sleep very much last night. I didn't sleep for shit last night, but for some reason I haven't been that tired today. I got tired a little bit earlier, and I'm hoping after I eat a big bowl of that rice, it's going to knock me out and I'm going to sleep real good. So that's it for me. Have a good one. Thanks for watching. Bye.